Perform the indicated operation 5 minus 2i over 3 plus 2i. So the first thing that I do in this type of problem is I put parentheses around my binomials. Our next step is to rationalize the denominator by multiplying numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator, which is 3 minus 2i. In the numerator, we're going to have to expand by using the FOIL method, or the distributive property. So we multiply 5 times 3, we get 15. 5 times negative 2i is negative 10i. Negative 2i times 3 is negative 6i. And negative 2i times negative 2i is a positive 4i squared. In the denominator, we can use the shortcut because we know when we multiply a factor times its conjugate, we're not going to have a middle term. So all that's necessary is to multiply your first two terms together. 3 times 3 is 9. And positive 2i times negative 2i is negative 4i squared. So in our numerator, we have 15 minus 10i minus 6i. Now here we have an I squared, and I squared is a negative 1. So we have positive 4 times negative 1, which is negative 4, all over 9. And here we have negative 4 times I squared. And again, we know that I squared is a negative 1. So negative 4 times negative 1 is a positive 4. Now we combine like terms. We have 15 minus 4, which is 11. And negative 10i and negative 6i gives us negative 16i. And on our denominator, we have 9 plus 4, which is 13. So if we want to write it in the form a plus bi, we just write it as 11 over 13 minus 16 over 13i. Now if we could reduce these fractions, we would at this point.